Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you all had a wonderful holidays and enjoyed some time off. At the beginning of the year, first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you to help me reach 30,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. It is something that I could have never imagined, to be honest, when I first started this channel. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you and to also answer some of the top questions that I have received. So let's jump into it. Also, just a quick reminder, I share everything about UX from portfolio reviews, design quiz to career growth tips on my YouTube channel. So if you are interested on this kind of topic, please feel free to hit the subscribe so you won't miss any of my future content. Okay, so the first question. I am starting my UX journey coming from India studying a master degree in interaction design this year. How could a fresher can find a job with dummy project? Well, there's also another question similar. What fresh grad should pay attention for my portfolio? From my point of view, I think finding the first UX job, either is the internship or entry-level job, is usually the hardest step. So once you get that first job in place, it can only get easier from there. So here are some thoughts that I have when you put together your portfolio for your first job. Number one, storytelling. One common issue that I have observed in entry-level design candidates' portfolio is that it's usually focused a lot on the structure, and it tends to fall into the same template of storytelling, like, okay, what is the problem, the research study, competitive analysis, what is the wireframe or persona, then go into the hi-fi. So one thing I do want to mention is you don't have to follow the same template. You can use that as a reference, but don't just copy and paste other case studies. And the main point is you need to tell your own story. So I always encourage folks to, especially for fresh grad or first-time job seekers, to use your own first angle to tell the story. Instead of focusing on, okay, what is this company about? What is the product about? What will be most interesting for the hiring manager is what is your role, what you have done, and what were your challenges, and how did you solve the problem. So use your own angle to tell the story and just start jotting down some ideas that can help you really start the thinking and start forming your own story so it can be more compelling and told in a unique way. Second, I think showcase real-world project is really important. I think, for entry-level jobs or internships, have one or two self-paced case study is perfectly fine, but it is critical to highlight if you have any real-world project experience, especially as the bar of entry-level UX jobs started getting higher and higher. It's critical to demonstrate that you have some level of real-world project experience. It could be anything that from doing like a freelancing jobs or internship that you actually had the chance to work with the client or work with engineers, product managers, and researchers and showcase that real project experience. So it can really help you stand out for entry-level job applications. The third thing is explain the why. A lot of the times when I look at entry-level design candidates' portfolio, one common issue is that people tend to try to cover a lot. The purpose of a portfolio is not to explain every single detail of a project. First of all, you don't have to make it a super long story, but make it super compelling. And the focus or the highlight should really be what is your critical thinking. So for example, if you did a redesign of something, show the before and after and explain why you made certain changes. Was there any data to back up your decisions? And how did you land on those decisions? So don't try to show every single details, but really focus and explain well what is your thinking process, how you work with other partners when there are disagreement or conflicts, and how did you make design decisions. Another thought is to showcase your impact, have some data. I understand that for fresh grad or early stage UX designers, it could be hard. Let's say you just finished a project as a contractor, there might be not enough data to actually show how successful the design is. However, on the flip side, I think as a UX designer, no matter which stage you have in your career, it is always important to reflect the thinking, at least that you understand how you measure the success of your design. You can try to be creative, use different ways to collect and generate data. And this is something I would encourage you to keep this mindset, even when you just start working on any new projects. Before you jump into the details of think about wireframes, prototypes, like what actually is the success of this design and how can you measure that? Are you agreed or aligned with your partners? This is how you're gonna measure the result. If at the end you don't have the actual launch data of a product that you designed, is there a way that you can work with researchers to get some data through user interviews or surveys that can in some way demonstrate how your design has positively changed the product or helped the business? Here is another question I have. How to find internship or entry-level jobs? Any recommendations for different approach? So first of all, I have created this video talking about some tips on how to find entry-level jobs a while ago. So please feel free to take a look at that video if you haven't watched it. On the other hand, I think some top tips I have for you in terms of job searching for entry-level jobs. First of all, understand your unique value. What is your unique selling proposition? Job searching is quite similar in some way to like a sales process. You know, here you're not selling a product, but yourself. So you have to understand what is your strengths, what is your weakness, what are some unique values of you that can well connected with this potential job position. One question I would encourage everyone, first, especially first-time job seekers, to practice is the question of tell me about yourself. This is probably the only question that might come up at every interview you have. From the hiring manager's perspective, hiring is more than just finding someone who can do the job. It is actually to find the best match, who can not only do the job, but the team hopefully would love to work with. One thing I noticed that in a lot of like fresh grad or first-time job seekers interview is jump right into the project and try to explain, the work you have done. And the candidates are often either too nervous or a little bit shy to share about who you are. So one thing I would encourage you to do is think about what is your story. Be very genuine and human, because at the end of the day, the company is looking for someone, a human being, to join their team to work together with every day. Another thought is really to build your network. And overall, I think asking for referrals is way more effective than just general online job applications. I would encourage you to think out of the box, be very creative about seeking opportunities, keep an open mind, and don't use the online general application as your main method of job searching. If you can find a common connection or second, third connection that can help you make a connection or referral for this potential job position, it can always set you to a better position and have a better chance to even get an interview. Another thought is to share your work. There are many different platforms in these days where you can share your work. You can write articles on Medium, you can post your work, your visual works on Behance, or there are many different social medias that you can use to share and socialize your work. It could be a way for you to just seek for some advice, recommendations, some critical eyes to give advice on your design. It can also be a way to create more exposures to showcase what you have done and also to offer help to others. It's up to you, and I think everybody have their own comfort level of share their work when they're not 100% perfectly done. But I think as a designer, you really need to develop that comfort zone to be open to share what you have done, even though it might be in progress, just to get it out there so you can continue developing and improving your work. Next question. What is the compensation look like working at a startup versus big companies for entry-level UX designers? For this question, I think it's really highly depends on your geography and the type of companies you're looking at. Even between big companies or startups is a huge range of difference. Like if you're talking about startups, there might be, early stage startups to more well-funded and later stage startups, which are more established. There are many different websites that provides this kind of information, but just to name a few, feel free to check it out on Glassdoor, Indeed, and also levels.fyi. You can look into different positions based on the location and also the experience level to get an understanding of what is the compensation look like for entry-level designers. To not make this video super long, I will get to the rest of the questions in my next video, which will focus on some questions coming from mid to senior level designers. At the same time, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to share with me. I would love to hear from you. I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.